Hi, welcome everybody. Hi Linda, hi Alice.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, so first, how are you doing today, Alice?
Good, thank you. It's a bit miserable, wet and windy here in the UK today, so a nice quiet Sunday for me today.
Oh, nice. What time is it over there, by the way?
It's 5:10.
Yep, I was going to say
Okay,
around 5 or 6.
Okay, awesome. Because I always worry that we do these things too early in the morning or too late.
Yeah, no, our clocks went forward at 1 o'clock this morning, so...
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we're losing out in an hour's sleep. It's no fair.
I know. That's why I like living in Arizona, because we don't do that. We're like, no, that doesn't sound good to me, so we just don't do it. How are you doing today, Linda?
Hey, I'm ready to go. I'm doing fine.
You're here and you're ready, right?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to be pissed off at these son of a bitches on here. I can remember last time.
This is pretty good therapy in the way of really getting all that inner anger out.
That's you got that right.
And directing it towards these asshats.
Yeah, asshats. Good one.
So
okay.
In the chat, I see Mandy. I see Pete. Hi, Pete. Hi, Mandy. Hi, CME. Dark Side. Scroll. BB. Naz. Jazz Naz.
Simmy.
Miss Piggy.
Alice in Chains. Well, she'll release them this morning.
But yeah,
can release those chains.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. It's a real honor. Every morning I wake up and I see our subscription number goes up a little bit. So thank you all so much. I think that's
180, awesome.
181.
There we go.
And yeah, I'm really proud of what we're doing on this channel, and I'm really proud that everybody's here.
Yep.
Hi, Paul. And yeah, no, I think it's really great. And little Barb. Hi, little Barb.
Hey, little Barb. My little friend. I haven't talked to him so long.
Yeah, so real quick, just to let everybody know, right after this show, an hour after this show is over, we're going to be doing a special little live with Pete. It's called, what's it called? Sunday Pete the Birdman Hour.
Yep,
and
Pete the Birdman Dassey Hour.
Yeah, he might be showing us some bird things, bird houses, stuff like that. So, yeah. Oh, I love seeing all the love for Pete in the chat. He definitely deserves it.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So let's jump right into this. I think the last time we talked about this,
we were at Fast Ass Benders. So we were still there when you went in the garage.
Yes, you still in there when you went into the garage with him to get the clothes. He brought them out. So, now earlier you said the clothes were not in the back on the far side. How did you tell that? Because he usually has them back there. So he usually has clothes back there. That's interesting. So I guess that he burns clothes often.
Well, I think he's probably just talking about clothes that he brings with him, maybe up to Crivets or something.
Maybe. That's a good observation.
You know, maybe he's got a bag packed because he's like, hey, I gotta go. At least I gotta change of clothes.
Maybe that's exactly it. Maybe he just has the clothes back there.
Just something very simple and innocent. They turn around, so you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't go in the garage with him to get the clothes? Now I've been told, and then he completely, I hate this.
Yeah,
This is what
completely changes
confuses,
it.
yeah, this is what confuses Brendan the most. You ask him a question about one topic, and then the other one bombards him with a completely different topic. Brendan doesn't have the communication skills to process.
Hell, I don't either.
Yeah.
Hell, you're going to be putting me in a room like this and then flip-flopping everything all the way around. You know,
Well,
I would be confused too.
Yeah, so that's another good observation, Phoebe, that he was probably clothes were in the back so that if he gets his clothes ruined while he works on his cars, he can just change there.
Exactly. Change of clothes.
That's a good observation. But yeah, no, like if you ask, and you're right, normally if you ask a person one question and then you completely switch to another question, that would confuse anybody, I think. And I think they do that intentionally with Brendan.
Yeah, because they know he has that learning disability. They found that out immediately when they walked into school.
Yeah, because it's like
they can't tell me they didn't know that shit.
Oh, I think they
knew that shit. He did know that shit. Don't you think he knew that stuff, Alice, when he was started questioning them by the looks of it?
Yeah, it's the way they answer the questions. Like Becca says, is they answer them they say one question to him. They don't give him enough time to say, I not, maybe I don't know, before they're jumping right into it. And it's not just another question after that, it's a tirade of questions after that. You know what I mean? So there is no way that Wayne knew, because that Wayne's just thinking about the first question that they ask him.
Yep.
And before he's even thought of that answer, they're bombarding him with more questions. And I mean, you see yourself, I mean, these are only like 2 sentences, but some of the earlier paragraphs were like 9, 10, 12, 20 sentences long for one answer or one question towards Brendan, to Brendan's one-worded answer or four-lettered answer. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous the way they bombard that way with questions and then twist it around. Like they're asking him about the clays, and then this next one is going on to Stephen. So what do they want me to answer? Do they want me to answer what they've just asked me about the clays, or do they want me to answer about Stephen?
Yeah. Well, in the paragraphs, they repetitively say, tell the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth. How many times did I count tell the truth in that one paragraph? You know, so there's a definite pattern of what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now Liegert says what?
Sure, hold on. I'm sorry. Okay,
that's okay.
Here we go. So Wiegert says, so he asked about the question in the body in there. Did you guys talk about it? Didn't you? And he said, yeah. What did he tell you? And he said that I shouldn't say. So he's basically saying, I said, why did you do it? Because, and he's like, and told me not to say anything. So my guess in this conversation is that Brendan, Stephen probably came to Brendan and said, if the police come and talk to you, don't say anything. Not necessarily in a, we did it, so don't say anything. More like in a, the police are coming in and talking to everybody.
Yeah.
And don't say anything, because that's what I would tell my kids. My nieces and nephews, don't say anything.
Yeah, you don't talk. Whatever. Don't say my business. Yeah. It's, like I said, something innocent, they turn around and make it be something bad. That's what they're doing. They're taking his everyday things and turning it around on him. Yeah.
Now, within the context of doing it, at this point, I believe Brendan may start to believe that Stephen may have done something, because they're constantly grilling into his head, like he did it. He did it. You were there. You were there, and he did it. You saw it. You must have saw it, and he did it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Feed
him.
Feed him.
Yeah.
Feed him.
Yeah.
I think he's mostly confused about what the terms of what they're asking. Do you know what I mean?
You know,
they're thinking of it as a crime, and he's thinking of it as something that's just a normal everyday thing. That's how I'm getting it.
No, I mean it's not even that. That Wayne's not even thinking about what the words or the sentences or the questions are. All that Wayne is thinking is the tone of their fucking voice. Because that's how he learned for his mum. If Barb raised her voice or used a certain tone or something like that, he's like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. You know? So with them saying, we know you know, Brendan. Come on, Brendan. We know you know.
Yeah.
He's picking up on that tone. So the man's thinking, right, okay, that's not what I've got to do. Right, so what if I say this? And then he says what's on his mind, and if it's what they want to hear, they're, oh, well, why did you not say that, Brendan?
Yeah, why didn't you say it? That's what we wanted to hear.
Exactly. Why did you not
now
just
you're getting it.
Place,
now you're getting it.
You know, and it's got to do with the tone. No, that's not what we know. You know, we know, Brendan. And that's it. Why did you not tell us? It's all about the tone in their voice. That Wayne didn't have a clue about what questions were being answered. He was just listening more to the tone of their voices.
Yep. Like with O'Neill when they sued here, you know. Okay.
So he said, do you know who it was? Did he say who it was? I'm guessing they're talking about Teresa. Brendan doesn't have an answer. So like I said before, I believe when these ... this is basically in his way of saying, like, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say.
He's not saying anything. He's either shaking his head or just sitting there.
Yeah. So he said he got angry. No reply. Did he say how he did it? No reply. Did you ask him? No reply. Because Brendan didn't. None of these things happened in Brendan's world.
That's right. So he didn't have no answer.
He doesn't know how to answer that. Right. What exactly did he say? He said you saw the bones. You said to him, why did you do it? Or did you ask him if there was a body? Or how did that go? And Brendan said, why did he do it?
Why did he do it? Like, do you know something? Are you telling me something?
Well, and I also think, like I said, in the news, it's all over the place. He may have asked him, why did you do it?
I mean, sorry, Becca, just the beginning of that, what he said, what exactly did he say? Now, that's a question, right?
Yeah.
Then he says, he said you saw the bones. What the fuck?
He didn't say that.
That doesn't make sense to me, let alone a 40-year-old woman, let alone a fucking 14, 15-year-old boy. He said you saw the bones. What the fuck is he asking there? You know what I mean?
Not. He's planting seeds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like he did with the manipulation of what did you see? I seen a toe. Oh, so then it ended up being a foot. And then he said he's seen a piece of forehead. Well, then it ended up being a head and then a whole body. He didn't say none of that shit just a few paragraphs ago.
And my question is, we go back to the whole toe thing, because the whole toe thing came from Kayla Avery, correct?
Yeah.
It's a statement she made to the counselor, who then she talked to Uyghur and Fassbender and gave a statement to them saying that Brendan said he saw toes in the fire.
Yep.
Do we know if he actually? Do we think that he actually said that to Kayla Avery, or was she manipulated to say that? So then when Fassbender and Uyghur came into place, they finally got him to say, yeah, sure, I saw toes.
Well, they're the ones that said it to him, and then
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they led him to believe. They led him.
That's right.
So
we've seen it unfold. We've seen it unfold. Yep.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
He
made
probably,
up bullshit.
yeah, made up, yeah.
Yeah,
From the
because we've
get-go.
seen how they brought it out in them through the first part of this, what we were talking about. Now we're seeing the second half of it, you know?
Yeah.
Where he's implicating Stephen.
Yeah, but it's not just that. I mean, a lot of people that I've noticed emphasize a lot on what Kayla had said about Brendan losing the weight and greeting and things like that. But people forget, you've got to keep that fucking wee lassie heard you. When she went on that stand, no matter how much struggle that she was going to get in, she told the fucking truth and said that it was all lies. And I think that was her trying to say, look, without actually saying it was the police that told me to say it, she was saying it was all lies. You know what I mean? So you've got to give that Wayne credit where credit's due.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Kayla Avery was a kid. And I fully and totally believe that whatever Kayla Avery said was totally manipulated on the same terms of what Brendan. You know what I mean? I believe they fully got into her head. Every single person in that family, I believe, is innocent. And I believe that, personally believe that the police and the investigators manipulated them all to get what they wanted, to get Stephen in prison.
Yeah, well, like I said, this is a clear map of how they started doing it.
Yep.
You know?
So
you see it, and the more you read, the more you see planting into his head.
So I completely agree with Pete. It would have been a different story if him or Barb was in that room, because they wouldn't have got as fucking half as far as what they go.
Oh hell no. They wouldn't even have tried this kind of technique. They would have sat there and said, they would have done what they're supposed to do. Sit there and go, okay, can you tell me if you did you see anything? Do you know anything from this day to this day? And they let the person talk. They don't sit there and bombard them with questions and putting things in. He says he sees a toe. I am convinced that Brendan tried to minimize anything to do with this by saying small items, and they're the ones that connected all the big things to it. You can see it.
Yeah.
So to me,
it's there in black and white.
Brendan was just trying to say whatever, because their tones, like you said, Alice, were changing with them. They were calling him a liar. They were using his family against him, saying, well, your mother, what would she think of your lying here? And we know you're telling the truth. And you know, that one paragraph had so many, you tell the truth, don't lie to us, tell the truth. I mean, come on. The kid is raised to not question authority, to be respectful of your elders. And that's all he's doing here. They are the ones filling in all the fucking blanks. That's why I cannot understand how any rational person can look at this and think that he was not coerced.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Anyway, moving on, I guess, to no. I have this problem where I have a thought, and then the second, like, it's my opportunity to speak, it runs away. So it'll come back.
It shouldn't be illegal. You're right.
Yeah. But okay, so continuing on with the transcript, why did he do it? Okay, he said exactly what? That he, and then, okay, did he tell you, where he did it? And then Brendan doesn't have a reply. What did he tell you about the truck? You saw her car, didn't you? Her RAV4. Where was it when you saw it? On the other side of the street. So he probably means when he saw the car leave.
Yeah.
Where did you see it later? Was it in his garage? Did you see it in his garage? And then he has no freaking idea.
No idea.
When was the first time you went out again? At night? Hold on, my computer's slow. Okay. At night about 9 p.m., you said? Where was the truck then? No answer. He doesn't know. Let's back up to when you go out there. Did he tell you about Teresa right away, or did you actually see the body before he told you? I seen the body. And he knew you saw it. Did you say something to him then, or did he say something to you? Is what he said. I don't know if this is because he's mumbling, But
probably just what he said, you know, he probably didn't know what to say, so he just repeated whatever.
That's probably true, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, think of you as a child, yeah.
And he also said what? He got angry and stuff. And what else did he say? Did he say how it happened? It's important. I can't believe that he wouldn't have told you how it happened and how did he kill her. No answer. How do you know that?
I'm sorry, but even if Stephen did say this, he's not going to go bragging to his fucking 15, 14-year-old nephew that he's just committed this horrendous crime.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
You know what I mean?
No, that's the thing. Is like, why would Stephen confide in his 16-year-old nephew about this heinous crime that he committed and is now burning the body in front of him? That's I cannot. That's the stupidest thing. Like maybe if Brendan was a smaller child and a little bit more like less to tell other people, but if you're a 16-year-old kid and you gotta understand this is when the internet was coming up and Brendan was on the internet, you know, talking to his friends on AIM. Why would you tell a 16-year-old boy who's gonna tell his friends and shit?
Yeah.
Exactly. And not even tell his friends. He'd go right to him and tell his ma because he would have been horrified about what he just bloody heard.
He was very, he still is to this day. He's very open with his mom and tells her everything. So and if everyone, you know, if he's still that kind of like that 16-year-old kid that everyone sees, that's the same, you know what I mean? So you got to think back to when he was 16. He tells his mom everything. Yeah, it's very unbelievable that Stephen would tell him anything about this.
There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell that would have happened. That was what makes this case a load of fucking bollocks from beginning to end.
Because
there we go. Load a lot of bollocks. You got it, girl.
You know what?
I love it. It's true. No better word for it.
No.
Yeah, but like in my personal opinion, and like this is just in my opinion, that I feel like where he's saying all of this stuff is I think that this is after the fact that Brendan's pulling back from a memory where maybe after Stephen got arrested or maybe he was being more investigated, I don't know, maybe when they were up at the cabin in Shevitz. I'm thinking this is where Stephen's like, he got angry and stuff. He said, don't talk to the cops. He said this, he said that. You know what I mean? I'm thinking that's where this conversation in Brendan's head is coming from. I don't think...
You're guaranteed that that's bang on, Becca. That is bang on. He's been around the family when all this has been kicking off and Stephen's fucking knows what's coming. Because he can see it happening right in front of him, you know what I mean? So he's probably left the salvage yard, went up to Crivets, and then he's just fucking exploded, and he's shouting his mouth off, and no, I fucking gain, I'm fucking sick of this, don't any of you talk to the fucking police, and you know, on a rant like that. So Brendan's picked that up as him being angry and stuff, you know, no saying don't talk to the police. It's no that it's being directly at Brendan, don't you say this. You know what I mean? It's probably just been Stephen ranting off at the mouth to all the family. Don't any of you talk to the fucking police or anything like that. You know what I mean? Which it's completely understandable for Stephen to be angry and shit like that for going on and shooting his mouth off like that. It's just that these dirty bastards are turning, as you say, the slightest wee simplest thing into something that it's no.
Yep. I agree with that. Yeah.
Taking his everyday stuff and turning it into bullshit. Taking the little bit that he says just to answer their questions because they raise their voice and make him feel intimidated. And, you know, you don't have to beat somebody to make him feel intimidated either. So when you're raised to respect and then somebody's coming at you like that, that's the way you're going to act. You're going to do what you got to do.
So then he asked, and I think the only reason why Brendan's agreeing to, he told you how he did it and like what did he do and stuff like that, is because they keep pressing on about that. And I think at this point he's learned that if he agrees with them, then he gets positive reinforcement from them.
Yeah, that'll be the tone of voice thing again.
Yeah, because you got, like, I couldn't imagine being a 16-year-old and having 2 adult male investigators continuously, push and push and like basically bully you to say certain things. You know what I mean? Like, I could imagine Brendan's really scared right now, and then just to be told that you were a part of this horrific crime, Brendan. You saw it, and we know you saw it, and everyone's mad at you, but we have your back. And yeah.
They knew when they went in there that he had a learning disability with language, or they wouldn't have bombarded him with paragraphs. Okay? No. First off, that is not how you start an interrogation or a questioning or an interview or whatever fucking scapegoat word they want to use. Okay? They knew they went in with a calculated plan, and they're pulling it off, and you're seeing it unfold. That's what they did. There's no doubt about it. They knew what they're doing. So for Aspender to say that he don't read freaking psychology, or he's not a psychologist or whatever, you don't got to be asshole. You just got to have some common sense and know what your tactics are. And your asshole self knew what tactics to use.
Yeah, he was Fassbender and Uyghur were trained in the read technique, and the read technique is basically psychological. Break them down and to get a confession no matter what. So he understood the psychology of read technique.
But they didn't even do that right.
He went to school for it. Well,
but they still didn't even do that right, because they fed. Listen, even in the read technique, you're not going to feed them the information like these assholes did to Brendan.
That's the one. That's the one thing that they definitely
broke their own rules. Right.
Yeah.
And that's coercion. That is coercion by giving them information. That should have never been in there. Any right-minded DA or prosecutor or judge would not allow this, because it was fed information all along the way, and there was nothing that came from Brendan on his own. Okay, nothing.
Yeah.
No, but not only that, the promise,
nothing they could prove. The cutting of the hair and shit, whatever.
Back, Brendan. The freaking right now I'm not a police officer. I'm a father. You fucking what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's trying to make him feel comfortable.
That's what Dassey here was just saying, huh?
Yes. You're damn right. That dad speech was gross. It made me so mad.
And the touching the leg, oh, come on, son, I'm your pal, you know what I mean? We've got your back. You tell us all this, and we'll have your back. We'll tell them that it wasn't you. You know what I mean? And yet none of these judges or anything like that have picked up on that. It is disgusting.
Yeah. You can't say you didn't make no promises to him. In that first fucking paragraphs you were talking to him, the dad's speech is so right on there, Nosy. It is. That is what you call it. It was despicable, and it was promising to a young kid. So you can't tell me how he took that. I would have took that as, well, geez, he's got a kid and he thinks I'm like him. So maybe he really will watch out for me. Come on.
Exactly.
So what did he tell you he did in the Jeep? All right. That he tied her up and stabbed her. Where did he say he did this? Doesn't have any idea. Because I feel like at this point he's making up a story to tell them what they feel like, what he feels like he wants them they want to hear. So when he asks a specific question, where did he say he did this? He doesn't know the answer for it yet, because he hasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What else did he tell you? He said how he tried to hide it. How did he try to hide it? Where did he tell you? He tried to cover it with branches, a car hood. The car you're talking about, her truck, her Jeep, he tried to cover it with what? Branches, a car hood. Did he say anything about shooting her? Tell me again how he how he said he killed her. He said he tied her up and stabbed her. So he's repeating the same because that's all he knows that, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't know that this is what happened, but this is all he can think of to say. He doesn't know anything else to say.
No, and the branches in the car hood, I mean,
and it was what he's seen in
they're
that
talking
show.
about the body, you know what I mean? They're talking about how did the kill her and everything like that. But that Wayne's picking up that question is on the car, and that's why he says it was covered with branches in the car hood. And then that's when they say, "Oh no, but that's you talking about the car. We're not talking about the car. We're talking about the body."
Yeah. At this point, too, I believe they already found the car because this is back in March, and they found the car, what, in November still? No.
Yeah, so he's remembering how the car was found.
Yeah, exactly. He knows how the car was found because it was all over the news. He knows that's what it looked like.
Exactly, because there was a big hoo-ha made about it being covered with these branches and a fucking car bonnet.
Yep. So
exactly. Public knowledge is right.
Yep.
Exactly. He was only saying what he knew, what he heard on the news, like he told the guys before. I only know what I heard on the news and what my mom showed me on the news.
Or what the family talked about, you know, like if the family was like, did you hear what happened? Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what, you know what I mean?
Did you hear how the car was found?
And then, like, what do you think? Do you think she was tied up and stabbed or something? Maybe. I don't know. He's just repeating back the things that were being said around him at this time, which, you know, is a lot. And, yeah, absolutely. It was all public knowledge, all word of mouth. The car you're talking about, her truck, her Jeep, he tried covering it with what? Branches in a car hood. Did he say anything about shooting her? Tell me how he said he killed her. And then he repeated, he said he tied her up and stabbed her because that's all he's got. Did he say where he stabbed her? Has no idea. Did he say how he got, did he say how he took her to the pit, or did he kill her out by the garage or his house? Has no idea. Is that what he told you? He took her to the pit, and then Rieger says yes, and then Brendan repeats yes. So Brendan is repeating back what he thinks Rieger's like, yes, that's what happened, yes. And then he repeats it, sure, yes, because that's what he thinks Rieger wants to hear.
Exactly.
And he stabbed her where? In the truck, you said? No answer, because he doesn't know. Where's the knife that he used to stab her? In the truck under the seat. Did he show you that knife? Yeah, they never found a knife in the...
Yep, never found that.
Yep. So this was just him guessing.
Yep.
Did he show you that knife? How do you know that was instead of the truck? No answer, because he doesn't know.
Yep.
We can't discuss that. Yeah. We can't discuss that. How do you know it's in there? No answer, because he doesn't know. Did he take you down and show you the Jeep? Did he tell you how he got the Jeep down there? And Brendan's using common sense here. He drove it there.
No. Exactly.
They're like, no, he helicoptered it down there. How else do you think it got down there? Peter? Did he tell you how he got the Jeep down there? He drove it down there. He didn't walk it down there. He didn't pick it up and move it. Like, what do you... Yeah. Which way did he drive it? Chucky's way. I think he's thinking because that's the road to get to that part. And then plus, isn't Chucky the one who said he saw headlights?
Yeah.
So he's probably thinking back to when he said that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he's like, well, it must have been
that. Where would they have heard that? He would have heard that with the family talking about it, because you're guaranteed Chucky and Stephen would have been at Man Pass whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And they would have all been there, and they would have been, did you see their fucking lights that were at my bit and at Stephen's bit or at Stephen's bit and Chucky's bit? You know what I mean? To see if anybody else would have seen them. And they would have said aye or not.
That's probably what Chucky was saying. He was saying, you know, they must have drove it back to that point because that's where blah, 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 blah.
Exactly, aye.
Yep. So past Chucky's house, does Chucky know about this? Do you think Chucky knows about this? Probably. He probably knows about the car being driven by because that's probably where he heard it from.
Yep.
Why do you think that? No answer. Do you think anyone helped him? No answer. Did he tell you when he did this? Before you got home from school or after, did he say anything? No answer. Because he doesn't know anything. When you got home, you said you saw her truck out by the driveway. But did you see her? And when I say you got home, I mean from school, all right? And what was that time that you usually get home? 3:45. Did you notice anything else? Was there a fire burning out in the front of the house in the burn barrel? Did you see a vehicle? Did you go inside and said you played Nintendo and stuff, and the next time you came out was around 9? The fire, going back to Mark's line of questioning, what was he going to do with the car? So this is a lot.
Like he's going to remember Mark's line of questioning.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, right. Like what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, look
Even
at all
I
these
could be
questions.
confused.
Yeah,
exactly, Becca. That's like 4 questions in one fucking paragraph. You know what I mean?
Four different what is it? 4 different trains of thoughts of questions. Like that's a lot.
Aye. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that Wayne's supposed to understand that. I mean, they didn't even give him time to answer. Did you notice anything else? No time to answer. Was there a fire burning out front of the house in a burn barrel? No time for an answer. Did you see the vehicle? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go inside and play Nintendo stuff? You know what I mean? And was it about 9 o'clock? Going back to Mark, so there's 5. That's 5 different fucking questions in the one fucking paragraph that Wayne is meant to answer.
You know what I've also noticed just now through all of this is when they ask a big block of questions like this, did you notice anything? Was there a fire burning, house in the burn barrel, the vehicle, Nintendo? What was he doing with the car?
Put all these items.
When they do this, and then he answers one of them in a way that they agree with, then I feel like they kind of assume all the questions. He answered all the questions.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing with the body parts. Now they're doing all of this. They're just saying everything, and he's doing whatever one he can remember. Okay. This is way too much. You know what I'm saying? Way too much for me, even. Okay. I can only imagine a 16-year-old who was taught to respect elders and the police are to help you and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? I don't care. He's only giving answers of things that were public, said on the news, the family talked about the news, or these asshats fed him. Okay.
Yeah.
They give him one after they bombard him with a paragraph of fucking everything. Then they ask him a single question. Now this asshat's asking him if he remembers the other asshat's line of questioning. Wait a minute. I don't get it.
Exactly. But then there's even Brendan's answer. Brendan's answer is a common sense fucking answer.
They don't let him answer.
And these dafties that think that Stephen was daft enough to fucking plant that motor where that motor was planted need to go and take a fucking seriously long hard look at themselves in the mirror, because even a 14-year-old knows how would they get rid of the car? By crushing it.
Yep. That's what I was just gonna say. Probably crushing it, because that would be his best answer or guess.
Exactly.
You know.
That's the common sense answer.
Yeah, because he's taking everyday things that would have been normally what you do with cars that they've been crushing them.
Yeah, if you're going to get rid of a car on the property, what does he see them do? Crush it.
Crush them, and they've been crushing because they had the rental of that crusher.
Yeah, and at that fucking precise moment in time, that Wayne had more common sense coming out of his mouth than the whole fucking state had during this whole trial.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah, and then so the next question is probably, or did he tell you that? And of course he's guessing, so it's probably, but he doesn't know what to say because, oh, I said it wrong. Did he ever tell you what he was going to do with the car? Did he tell you anything else about the car besides that he put branches on it and a hood on it? Did he tell you if he did anything with the license plate? Where did he say he had the knife in the car? Crush it? Something specific about that. And he has under the seat, because that's all he guessed it before. He put the knife under the seat. He told you that? Doesn't know how to reply to that. Did he said he got mad? Did he say why he got mad? Doesn't have an answer for it. Did he try to have sex with her or anything? And she said no and doesn't have an answer for it. Did he ever tell you that it's very important, okay? Because we heard that he might have told you that. Doesn't have an answer. No, yes or no? No. What else did he tell you about her? That she was kind of pretty. He probably did tell him that she was pretty. She was a very beautiful woman.
Yep.
How was he acting at the time and stuff? Shook his head. I think this is what he said. He shook his head. Did you see any blood on him at all? Doesn't know how to answer. Was he hurt? Doesn't know how to answer. Do you see any abrasions at all? Bandaged it up at all anywhere? Did he tell you that he hurt himself or she hurt him? He said he cut his finger. And this was from what, maybe like a week before?
Yeah.
Right? When he cut his finger while he was working on a car.
Yep. At Barb's house.
And he
lifting a trailer or something.
So if you ask Brendan when was the last time Stephen hurt himself, he probably thought back to that point.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably where that.
They just had to tie in bleeding finger with the car, with him seeing it. That's how they had to do it. That's why they ask him them questions.
Yep. He said he cut his finger on what? By the garage, he cut his finger on glass. Okay. He probably really did do that. Did he say what he did with his clothes? Because there had to be blood on his clothes. Doesn't know how to answer that because he doesn't know. Are you sure? I heard he told you something about that. I heard he told you how he cleaned things up. Be honest now. If he didn't, it's okay. But if he did, you need to tell us.
No answer.
No answer. Yep. You didn't see it? Did he tell you about it? No answer.
No answer.
No. No. Say yes or no. No. See, this is the first time. This is the second time actually in this whole entire. We're halfway through this interview, and this is the first time they're asking him to verbally say yes or no, or the second time, which is interesting because the first half of it they were leading him on a lot. If he didn't have an answer, then they were putting answers in there. Now they're finally saying you need to say yes or no.
And he says no.
Yeah, now he's finally saying no. Okay. We had heard that he cut himself during did he say that or not? Did he say cutting himself during it? Hurt himself.
During what? During what?
During what?
You know what I mean? We had heard that he cut himself during that. During what? How is that way meant to understand what they're on about? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did he say where he cut himself? He just said earlier that he had a cut on his finger, so that's probably why this was a confusing question. On the knife that he used to kill her, yes or no? Yeah. Tell us what he told you exactly. That's okay, go ahead. And then he starts that. Go ahead. Take a second, it's all right. He said that he cut himself while he was stabbing her, yes or no? Yes. So, leading him on.
Yep.
Oop. Oop, 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 oop. Okay. Just try through your mind exactly what he told you about him cutting himself. Put it in your own words. He said, okay, is everything you're telling me today, Brendan, the truth? Yes or no? Yes. I have asked you I have to ask you another difficult question. It's very important that you be honest with me, okay? Did you have anything to do with the death of Teresa Holback?
No.
Tell me, who did? Stephen. And Stephen did by how again? Tell me that again. That he stabbed her. Okay. Had he told you that? Yes or no? Yes. So now he's basically repeating back the whole entire thing of what they just went over. You know, that they basically were like basically manipulating him to believe happened.
Yep.
And Stephen did it by how again? Tell me that again. He stabbed her. Okay. Had he told you that? Yes or no? Yes. Did he say he had a gun with at all? Did you ask him about a gun? And he told you that he
look at they're bombarding him one right after another, right after another.
Question. And he told you that he did this in her truck? Yeah. And he tied her up first? Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's one right after first Aspener, then Liger, then Aspener, then Liger.
Yep. Different questions with different context to them too. So that's got to be really like confusing. And then he stabbed her inside the truck. Yeah. And then he told you put the truck in the pit. Yes. Isn't that okay? Wait a minute.
Nosy.
Hold up a second. Hold up a second.
Teresa's the only girl in the world stabbed and had clear or no blood.
So, but let's just go back to what I just, read. He says that the RAV4 was driven past Chucky's house, and then parked, and then he put branches and a hood on it. Now they're trying to make him say, how did he get the truck to the pit again? Tell me that. He drove it. What pit? Are they talking about the fire pit?
Yep.
Are they talking about where did that come from? And then of course Brendan agrees, because I don't think Brendan at this point is just saying yes to whatever they want to hear.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, wait a minute. Wouldn't that be considered a control question?
Well, all of them are control questions, but they're controlled to make him say one thing.
If I was the lawyer, like, let me just say this. If I was his lawyer and I was looking at this, and I'd be like, he just asked him a really off-the-wall question that had absolutely nothing to do with the context of the other questions, and he still agreed to it. That should tell you right then and there that Brendan has no idea.
Well, about 500 words ago, he should tell you that. Okay.
No, I'm just saying though, like, that's a clear cut. Like, we literally changed the context of what happened with the truck, and Brendan just agreed to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he drove it. He drove it which way? Chucky's way. Past Chucky's house. Did Chucky see him? Doesn't know how to answer. Honestly, did he say if Chucky seen him? Did he say if anybody saw him? Did he tell you what he was going to do with her truck? That he might crush it. That he might set it on fire. There you go. That he might crush it or set it on fire. No answer.
No answer.
Did he tell
you
how
he moves on to the clothes? Okay.
Yep.
Whoa.
I think they were trying to basically get Brendan to admit that they were going to set it on
blood
fire.
Blood in the car. He drove it past Chucky's. He takes care of those lights. That there was a fire. He's trying to get all of the things that their narrative says out of Brendan's mouth.
Yeah, I think that's what they were originally. Like, if you were to ask me, what do you think what do you think that the police were trying to make Brendan say was that Stephen Avery was trying to burn everything, the car, everything. Yeah, and this is clearly what they were trying to.
They're trying to set up their narrative coming out of Brendan's mouth.
And Brendan didn't necessarily catch on to the fact that they were trying to that he was going to set the car on fire, because Brendan's like, logically it would be crushed, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
They're just every single bit of their narrative they're trying to get out of Brendan's mouth, and you can see them setting him up by the way they're questioning him and by his answers.
Yep. Did he tell you how he got her bloody clothes? Did he tell you those were her clothes? And he doesn't have an answer. So he said honestly, as if saying, you need to say something. So Brendan says what he thinks they want to hear, which is, yeah. What did he tell you? That I should keep my mouth shut. They were hers. I'm thinking he might be thinking Jody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Did he threaten you? Sort of. What did he say? Tell me. And then he stabbed me too. I think this is something that he thinks that they want to hear. Or else he would stab you too? Yeah. Go back to the clothes. He said that those were whose clothes? Teresa Hallback, because that's in the context of it. Okay. Do you want to take a little break, get a soda? You need something to drink? No. What kind? Do you want something? No.
Yeah, no, but you're still forcing it.
I'd like to take a break. Would you mind if we took 5 minutes break? Is that okay? Would you sit here and relax for a minute? And he said, okay. When we come back, would you mind writing out a statement for us? We may even write it for you, if you want. But we prefer you write it out for us, okay? You did the right thing, Brendan, okay? As hard as it was, yeah. Not you could, all right? We'll be right back. Take a short break. I got Brendan a Pepsi, and just to recover a bit. It's now, what is that, 1:30?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Brendan, you remember you're not under arrest, right? You can stop answering questions at any time, right? Yes? Yeah. So this is what we discussed this off camera once, and Brendan read his Miranda rights?
And this is the way they're reading them to him in individual lines?
I don't know. Okay. But was he read his Miranda rights at the beginning of this? He wasn't under arrest, right?
No, they just said the same thing to him. You know that you can you don't have to answer our questions. You can leave anytime. You're not under arrest. We just want to know what happened. You don't have to talk to us. Do you agree to talk to us?
Yeah.
And then as soon as they've said that Wayne's thinking, oh, I need to talk to you because if I don't get in talk to you, I could get into trouble.
Yeah. You guys are telling me that I'm possibly a suspect in this murder.
Oh, that's even though, for sure.
Yeah. You can walk out anytime you want, right? Yeah, right. At school, in a classroom setting? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling? How? Yeah. So he's just agreeing to everything at this point. How are you feeling? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a feeling, all right.
Yeah. You feel a little bit better now that you got this out. Did you tell anyone about this, Brendan? Nobody? Brendan, we're asking right before we gave you your break. We asked you if you would write out a statement for this, and you said yes. Is that still true? So he just asked him like 1, 2, 3, 4 questions before he finally was like, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. We're going to ask that you do that then, and Mark brought some statement forms, and he's going to explain that to you. Yeah. And yeah, I'm sorry. We're going to ask you pretty much write what you told us and what you saw, and then make sure above everything else it's the truth, okay? Because you can imagine that people may try to question you on that. So just make sure it's the truth, and then you have nothing to worry about, okay? So they're basically leading him on to basically, don't worry, you have nothing to worry about if you say that you're compliant to a murder.
Exactly.
Okay. I just had a quick question, Brendan. Everything you told us prior to this about Stephen and the body in the car, what day was that? Do you remember? October 31st. Okay. I'm gonna give you the statement form here. It's pretty much self-explanatory. I'm gonna let you use the pen here. You put the date in there, and just go line by line. What's today's date today? The 27th, 7th. And place where we're at right now. Pause, which is Mishicot High School. What time you started this would be 13:33, which is 1:30. Okay, that's close enough. Actually, let's circle. Is it AM or PM? PM, okay, and then print your name. It says I, the undersigned, print your name.
He doesn't even know if it's AM or PM, but yet he knows how all this murder went down and everything else, and understands all these questions. Yeah, right.
This is Wiegert walking him through the form. So when he says, so the form probably says what time of day it is, 1:33, and then it probably has an option, circle AM or PM, so circle PM, okay, then print your name, and it says, I, the undersigned, put your name in the middle initial. So that's what he's doing right here, is he's telling him circle this, circle that. Brendan, is it cursive? Asking, is it cursive? Because that's back then when we were in school, you were taught
to sign your name in cursive, yeah.
Yeah.
But it just got done saying print your name with the initial, and he says, is that cursive?
Is it cursive?
I'm sorry, is that cursive or, see what I mean? He didn't even know.
I'm not I don't remember. It's been a long time since I had school instead of writing it. Not cursive. Print it out. Not cursive. Long time in school. You have kids. What's your middle initial? Put it in there. You have kids. What's your middle initial? Put it in there, okay? And then your home address. We'll put your phone number in there. How old are you? And what's your birthday? Your date of birth? What do we hereby make of this following statement to? We'll put in investigator, and I'll spell my last name for you. It's on the card. Okay. So it looks like they're basically just helping him fill out this form right here. And Fassbender is equal card next. You can write over there. It's not a problem. First identify himself as. We identify ourselves as for detectives. And then Brendan says, how do you spell that? Detective. So he helps him spell it out. Just go down this line. We're just going to give you exactly what you told us before. Basically, what did you do? Okay, what day it was, put it like this, date, I saw this, make yourself comfortable. Take as much time in and as much space as you need. There's a lot of pages there. So long pause during statement being written. Are you finished or have more to go yet? We can just tear that top sheet off and continue the second. What's that? You're okay? Okay. You're done? Okay. Can I take a look at it? Okay. Tell you what I'll do is I'll just read it, and then you tell me if that's what you want in there, okay? You've written this yourself, Brendan. Is that true? Yes or no? Yes. Is that standard? Well, they'll read it back to you, and then they'll say, do you know, if you want that in there? Anybody know?
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I think they do read the statement back to you, but that's yeah, just to make sure. Or I don't know if they say, right, you read your statement back to me.
Yeah, and my end, and I don't, this is probably an interesting question I'm probably going to have to look into more, but, if you were to say, write down a statement like this, I think that once you've written it down, it's official, and you can't change it, correct?
Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah, I think you can change statements, because it would be like, say, me and you were out on a night out, and we seen a robbery happening, right? And we gave a description and things like that. But then a few days later, we both remembered that, oh no, wait a minute, they had a pair of purple trainers on.
Yeah.
you know, then we would have to go back to the police and say to them, oh, there's something I missed out on my statement, you know, or you know, or it wasn't purple trainers they had on, it was blue trainers they had on, you know, so you would have to go back and change your statement in that sense because it's something that you've remembered. So I know for something like that, you can change your statement, but I'm not sure the length of time you've got to be able to do that, you know, before if there's a cut off, because they do say that the first statements that are given after an incident are the most information in a sense, and then later on either people remember something or, you know, and they can go and change their statement. But as I said, I'm not sure how long, if it's 4 weeks, you've got 4 weeks to be able to change your statement, or if they can change it at any time.
Yeah. It's interesting. And also the whole, like, I'll read it to you and you tell me if that's what you want in there. To me, that's like him saying, if it's not what we wanted to hear, we're going to have you change it.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly what that is, Becca.
So,
but without actually saying, well, I'm just going to read it over, and if I think there's something missing, then I'm going to say to you that there's something missing, so you put that in there. Or what did we talk about? That's no in there, you know. So, I mean, they're trying to say that they didn't know that he had a learning difficulty, but the way they're bombarding him with the questions and everything like that, no, they're not treating him as if he's got a learning difficulty. But then some of the things that they're saying to him, and the way they're saying it to him, and the way they're wording it, they're doing it as if he's got a learning difficulty.
Exactly.
Which pisses me off.
Yeah.
We're almost done here. Do you guys just want to push on?
Yeah.
I think we got just 14 pages, and it seems like they're pretty flying. So, is that true? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, then I'm just going to read it and read what you wrote. Okay. So this is what he wrote. I got off the bus at 3:45 and I seen her Jeep down at Steven's house. Then I went to my house and played PlayStation 2 for 3 hours. And then I eat at 8 and I watched TV. Then I got a phone call from Steven. If I wanted to come over and have a fire, I did, and he told me to bring the golf cart, and I did. So when we went driving around the yard, and I got to pick up the stuff around the house, then we dropped the seats by the fire. We went and get the wood in the cabinet, and then we went back, thrown the seat on the fire, and then we waited for it to go down to throw the wood in the cabinets. Then I seen the toes before we threw the wooden cabinet on the fire. When we did that, he seen me, that I seen the toes, and he told me not to say anything, and he told me that he stabbed her in the stomach in the pit, and he took the knife and put it under the seat in her Jeep. Is that your statement, Brendan? Yes. So this first part is
the truth.
His truth. Yeah. This is the part that he also made an official statement after the fact when he said, remember the form he filled out with O'Kelly? Yeah.
Yep.
But then the second part is the part where they basically manipulated him to make him think that this is what happened. Yes. Did you want to add anything in there about where he stabbed her and why he told you he stabbed her? Why he stabbed her? As if maybe like I think he's asking why he stabbed her.
Yeah.
You told me before that he was angry. Angry, yeah. Did you want to add that to your statement? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. We both may ask you some questions like that, and then you want to add to your statement, you can do so. Based on what you told us, there are some things that we feel you should probably add to your statement, but that's up to you. See, based on what you told us, there's things you should add to your statement. In other words, you didn't exactly say everything that we talked about, Brendan.
You didn't say what we wanted you to. You didn't get it all.
You've no covered what we've recorded you saying, son, you know, so we
gotta write it like you say it.
so that it matches to
I
what
think this is the
questions
only
we've been
time that
asking.
they match words with their words. It's the only time they match any kind of thing there is words. You know, words with evidence is how you're supposed to do it. Well, they match it this way. Huh.
Yeah. Did he say what he was angry about? Not at all. That's a yes or no. No. Scroll, scroll, scroll. No? And you told me before that he said he did something else to her. You said he tied her up and stabbed her in the truck. Is that right? Yeah. Did you want to add that to your statement? Okay. What did he use to tie her up with? Did he say rope? Rope. Did he say anything about duct tape? Doesn't have any idea. No. So he answers for him.
Yeah.
Again.
Yep. You told us that he talked to you about not talking and that he threatened you. Would that probably be a good thing to add to your statement if you'd like, specifically what he said to you? You also told us that he said she was pretty. Did you want to add that to the statement? Yes or no? Yes. So pause. So
Yeah, he's
I'm
probably
maybe
thinking there's something good. There's something nice, at least. You know.
Yeah. Brendan, I think you did a real good job about writing. You were a little more detailed about what you saw in the fire, and it's getting very difficult to write that. But I think it's important that you write not just to tell what's the things that you saw in the fire about her and the clothes. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Pause. Brendan, I just got a question. I think Mark's going to have some too. We didn't ask this before. Did he say anything about cutting her up or anything like that? Did he put the body in their hole? He didn't say nothing. Didn't they just say before, though, like they were like, you saw the whole body in there, didn't you? Because the foot was connected to the leg, which is connected to the hip, which is connected, so you eventually saw her. So why are you now changing it up to saying cutting her up? Like, that's weird.
Because he said toe and they said foot. He said forehead, they said head. They said, next thing you knew, there was a body.
Yep. Brendan, you told us earlier that you saw the whole body, right? Okay. Could you indicate the body appeared to be whole? However you want to put it in your words. And where was it located? You said under certain items. Pause. So he's probably writing this, I guess. Did he say where he got the knife from, Brendan? Or whose knife it was? Did he say where he got the knife from? No? No. When he was telling you about how he stabbed her, he was laughing, enjoying it, or how was he putting it to you? He was just staring at the ground. Did he say he was sorry or anything? He just stared at the ground. Is that what you said? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. Another thing that you had talked to us about is where he put the vehicle in the pit and what he did to the vehicle. He talked about how he hit it. Can you add that? Did he tell you where he put her in the truck? No. Okay. Now let me read. This would be page 2 that you added here. Is that correct? Yeah. I'll read this. Is that okay? Yeah. So this is what he wrote. He was angry and that's why he did it. He told me he used rope to tie her up in the Jeep and that's when he stabbed her. When he told me not to say anything, he threatened me a little bit. He said that she was pretty to him. I seen the fingers and the belly and the forehead in the fire. The body looked like it was together and it was under some tires and branches. He hid the vehicle in the pit back in the tree area. Can you, if you wish, add how he hid the vehicle? They just want him to keep adding to it. Did he put something on top of it? And if he did, what did he put on top of it? Then you told us that he put some clothes on there. Can you add that you saw as it relates to that clothing? What you told us? Okay, I'm going to take that again and I'm going to read to you what you just added, Brendan. Is that okay? Yeah. He hid the vehicle in the back in the tree area. He put some tree branches on top of it and put the car hood on top of it too. He put some clothes in the fire. That was a blue shirt and some pants. Did you see anything on that shirt at all? Some blood. Some what? Blood. Okay, you want to add that on there too, if you will? You must have talked about something else to that shirt. Did he tell you whose shirt it was? Whose pants it was? Yeah. Whose did he tell you it was? Teresa's? Okay. No, this is because beforehand in the beginning he said he didn't know. And now it's changing to Teresa. So did he tell you anything about any other possessions? Like, imagine a woman would have a purse. She probably had her cell phone camera to take pictures. Did he tell you what he did with those things? He doesn't know what to say. Are you sure? Yeah. How about that? Like the key in her car and stuff like that in there? Okay. How about a camera? Did he say anything about a camera? No. No? Okay. Let me just read this last part to you and add the statement, okay? Yeah. Some clothes in the fire pit was a blue shirt and some pants. On the shirt there was blood on it. There's a hole in the stomach area. And he said there was Teresa's shirt. Okay. This is the first time he's mentioning a hole in the stomach area. He means like stab hole?
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Well, they put it in his, stabbed in the stomach,
Yeah, he said she's been stabbed, so there's got to be holes in the shirt if she's been stabbed.
Yeah, and this is before the whole narrative of her being tied to a bed naked.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that you could have told us that you think you need to tell us that he said or that you saw? No. You mentioned when he got up there, in there, that he wanted to hide or leave, and that he said something to the effect that you said that he just wanted to go and get out of there and get as far as he could. Excuse me, would it be alright if you added that? Okay. That's when the police were coming out there. Finished. Let me take a look at it if I could. I'm going to continue reading what Brendan just added. He said he was going to go and leave the house to try to get as far away as he could. Okay. Brendan, this is your statement, the written part of it. I mean, obviously we recorded you and had taken notes. Is there anything you want to add to that statement on how you felt during all of this, how you feel? Feel free to add anything you want as it relates to that. You want to add anything? Okay. Feel free to go to the next page if you have to. Okay, I'm going to read what you just added to the second page. I felt sad that I had to be there and be sorry for her family. Brendan, did we promise you anything prior to writing the statement? Yeah. What did we promise you? That I could leave whenever I wanted and I didn't have to answer any questions? Right. Did we threaten you at all? No. Was your statement made of your own free will? Side 1 of tape ended. Tape turned over for second side 2. Does that mean that they missed the answer to that because it stopped recording?
Probably. On purpose, maybe?
Yeah, because by rights, what they should have done was when the tape ran
re-answer the question.
When they restarted it, they should have re-answered the same question by saying side 1 and tape turned round. So we asked before the tape ran out and then asked that question again to get the answer, and obviously they didn't do it.
Yeah. So on the beginning of the second tape, did you want to add that to your statement? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. I'll read what you added to the statement. Is that okay? Yeah. I'll make the statement. I did not get threatened to write it out. What is that word? Could. And I could leave when I wanted to, and I didn't have to answer any questions. True? Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to do next, have you do next, Brendan, is I'm going to tell you a number of the pages. This would be number 1. The next page would be number 2. And I'm going to have you sign here. Signature of a person's given voluntary statement. If you can sign here. And I guess you can use the script on this one. I've learned something new myself today. What's it called, Brendan? Cursive. 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 Is that what it was? All right. Well, I'm going to have to sign here, and Tom will sign there, and I don't know where I got the script from. It's just a new word for you. Must be. Brendan, before I neglect to do this, I want to say I'm extremely proud of you, of what you did. It had to be very, very difficult. You're one hell of a kid because that had to be the hardest thing you probably ever done in your life. And I don't know if I could ever feel that you had to just do. I truly believe you're one hell of a kid, and you need to believe that too, okay? No matter what anyone says. And that goes for both of us. We both believe that. You told the truth. That's very hard for you to do. Actually, Brendan's not very hard for him to tell the truth. That's all he does. And two, he says this must have been very hard for you to do. I would like to think that witnessing a murder would have been harder, but if that's within the context of this, but whatever. You told the truth. That's very hard for you to do. Do you feel better that you got off your chest? Yeah. I need to ask you one more quick question. He's probably saying, yeah, by the way, because this is almost over. So he's like, thank God. I need to ask you one more question. We asked you before if you had told anyone about this. I think you really need to be honest. One more time for me. Did you tell your mom? No. Are you sure? Yeah. Because everything you told us today obviously can be used in court. You understand that, right? Yeah. Does he really, though?
No.
And people are going to look at your statement and stuff like that, and they're going to do some digging of their own and stuff. And if they find out what you didn't tell us, the truth about something, in all likelihood, you're going to hear about it. You understand that. So you need to tell us everything now, so no surprises and no secrets, understand? Yeah. Is there anything else? No. Did you tell any of your brothers, any of your friends at school here? No. You hang out with, I know one kid in particular. Who's that? Travis Fabian? Yeah. Did you tell Travis about this? No. Which is weird. You would tell your best friend, I feel like.
Yeah, that's who he talked to it when he was first put in and everything. Travis is his best friend. He would have told him.
Yeah. During the last several months, were you afraid that Stephen was just going to get out? Not really. Because why would he? He doesn't actually fear his life from Stephen. No. If now that you've made this statement, are you afraid that he could get out for your own safety? I don't think he's going to get out. I know, but if he did, because of what he said to you, would you be afraid? Yeah. Okay. Do you, why? I don't think we have much choice. I think that I'm going to do it no matter what you say. We need to call your mom because I think she needs to be here to take you home. You don't.
Okay, wait a minute.
You want to go back to class? No.
Wait a minute, dear. Wait a minute. Now they think he needs his mother?
Yeah,
they think he needs his mother now? You son of blah, 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 beep, bleep, beep, bleep, bleep. A lot of cuss words coming out my mouth about the second right now. I'm pissed. They think he needs his mother now?
Yeah.
You fucking assholes.
I wonder, did they call his mom and tell him that they were going to be questioning him at school, or did they just tell the school and the school? You know what I mean?
Did Bad not have to go looking for him because they took him out of school?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so pissed off. Now they think because now he's written things, they think he's unsafe. You're a bunch of, oh my God, talk about manipulation and bullshit.
Oh, it's there in black and white, you know what I mean? But these Supreme Court judges and district judges and everything like that just ignored this.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They just focused on I don't know if they focused on that one March 1st confession or if they were looking at all the confessions, but you're right. It's kind of like this is obviously a kid that was manipulated to believe that he committed or was witness to committing or witnessed his uncle committing a crime. His parents were obviously not involved in him being questioned at this one. You know, as far as them being told.
They're concerned my ass. You son of a bitches.
So, think she needs to take you home. You don't. Do you want to go back to class? No, because who could what? I think maybe you need to go home and rest a little bit. This couldn't have been easy. Well, I'll tell you what. I need you to sign the second page. We'll call your ma and have her come here, okay? Do you agree with that? Well, I would like to go to 8th hour. Would you? Yeah. What time does that start? 12:17. 12:17. I mean 2:17. Okay. We have no problem with that. Are you all right? You all right? You're not going to do anything to hurt yourself or anything like that, right?
Really?
Time we ended really? And then they say that you're not going to hurt yourself, right? And then he ends it anyway. Time we ended at 2:10. Brendan, look at me. You all right? Okay. You understand that we do need to talk to your mom, though, to let her know so she can talk to you about this and you can talk to her and your dad. I don't care who, one of your parents. Would you prefer your mom or your dad? My mom. Okay. Is she at work right now? Yeah. What time does she work till? 5? 5. What's that number? Do you have her work number or her cell phone number? Her cell phone is 9, and then there's the cell phone. Where does she work again? Woodland Face Veneer. Is that in Two Rivers, right? Can you put the date in there again? Good job. Do you have any questions, buddy? You sure? How about anything's gonna do or anything like that? Or if you have any questions, now's a good time. I don't have a question. Okay, no questions. Anytime I want anytime I want you to take those cards with you. Anytime you do, you give us, either of us, a call. You talk. I'm going to put my cell phone number on there, okay? But you got to do me a favor. You can't give that to anyone else except your mom if she wants it, okay? I answer that phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if it's tonight at 3 in the morning and you can't sleep and you need somebody to talk to, or if you forgot to tell me something, or if you just need someone to talk to, you call me. If it's Saturday night, 8 at night, need someone to talk to, you call me. Any time of the day or night, okay? If you just need someone to come pick you up, give you a ride somewhere, get you out of the house, I'll be willing to do that for you, okay? That's yours and this is Tom's. Do you have any questions, okay? Should we let you go back to 8th hour class? Is that what you want? Yeah. Because he wants to get the hell out of there. What class do you have? Earth Science? Earth Science, what's that about? It's about rock and those kind. Do you like that class? Yeah? Okay. This is yours. I don't know if you throw it in your locker or whatever, but you're obviously free to take this. So again, we're not going to leave you high and dry. We're going to talk to your mom about this. We want to be there if you need something, if you need to talk to someone, counseling or anything like that, a counselor, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, okay? You let her know and you call us. Okay. How do you feel like you want to hurt yourself or anything at this time? No? Okay.
Oh, God.
You should be proud of yourself. You should be. I certainly would be if I was your parents. Okay. It's more difficult thing than you just did. I'm proud of you. All right, bud? You need something, call us, okay? All right? Why don't you just take those along? I go get your dean of students, and then we're ending the interview at 2:14. Then I requested Brendan to fill out a written statement, which Brendan did and signed both the written statements. It should be noted there are 2 pages of written statements. After Brendan finished the written statement, Special Agent Fassbender contacted Brendan's mother and requested that she come to the high school to meet with us. It should be noted that Brendan requested that he go back to his 8th hour class, which he was allowed to do. Brendan's mother, Barb, did show up at the school, at which time the interview was conducted with Barbara. For more information on interview, please see Special Agent Fassbender's report. At approximately 1,500 hours, Brendan did return to the conference room when we asked Barbara and Brendan if they would be willing to go to Two Rivers Police Department with us to do a second videotaped interview. Both Brendan and Barbara agreed. We then gave them a ride to the Two Rivers Police Department. We arrived at Two Rivers Police Department at approximately 15 hours, arrived at the police department. We asked Brendan and Barbara if Brendan would like Barbara to sit in the room during the interview. We also asked Barbara if she was to sit. Barbara stated that it was not necessary for her to sit in the interview room, and Brendan stated he did not care if his mother was there or not.
Now that's a lot of shite because Barb has said herself
Yeah.
that never happened.
That's right.
At approximately 15-21 hours, and I met with Brendan alone in the interview room at 2 hours police department. Prior to speaking with Brendan, we did read him his Miranda rights from a waiver form that was provided to us by Two Rivers Police Department. Brendan agreed to waive his rights and to speak with us and signed the Miranda form. It should be noted that I did read him the Miranda form, explained it to him. Brendan did initial both areas in Miranda form. A copy of that form will be included with this report. At that time, we did begin interviewing Brendan and informed him that the interview was being taped. For more information of the second interview, Brendan, please see the videotape. After finishing the interview with Brendan, we did take Brendan back to Mishicot Fire Station where he met with several other detectives. We did make arrangements for Barbara and Brendan to stay at Foxtail Resort on the night of 2/27/06 for their safety.
Yeah, paid by fucking We Got Shane credit card. What the hell?
Yep. Well, that was very difficult, and I'm sorry, you guys. I know it was difficult for everybody there too, but you can see exactly how they played poor Brendan with things that were said in the news, public knowledge, had been discussed by the family in the news, and how they daddied him up. And yes, exactly, hand on the knee, cringe, exactly what they did, and how they showed concern after he was all done saying what they wanted him to.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like everybody has said in the past, I don't know how these bastards sleep at night. I just don't. I don't even know how they look at their own children. And I wonder if their children heard this or seen this, what they would think of their parents.
Yeah, I don't know how a person who has a child can sit there and manipulate another child within the same age group into confessing to something this heinous and then being okay with the fact that that child is going to go away for the rest of their life.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Them knowing that what they're going to make come out of that laddie's mouth is going to put that way behind bars when they know fine well that there's nothing there. It's just that there was a $36 million bill held over the state's head and something needed to be done about it. And it was poor Stephen and Brendan that copped the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right, yours. Fassbender lost his eyebrows, and AC can't seem to keep his on his face when he's lying, so they look like they're going to jump off too. So, I mean, he looks like a dead guy, that Fassbender, because he got no eyebrows.
So, does our panel of lovely ladies here have any last comments or anything?
No, well, nothing that I should say, I suppose, because it'd be nothing but cussing, because I'm so goddamn pissed off by, just seeing how they calculated everything. It was completely calculated. They're planned out, how they added to anything minute that Brendan would say. They made it a fact. They repeatedly did this. It's just awful. Yeah. And I don't understand how anybody can accept this.
But that's just that, though, Linda. You're no really a lot. I don't think, especially these guilters and everything like that. They've not took the time out to actually go and look back and read these documents and everything like that, where it's there in black and white.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying that we are duped by a documentary. Well, I'm sorry, but they've been duped by the documentary because they're not in the media.
They use their narrative. We don't.
Yeah, because it was all over the media and in Kratz's press conference and everything like that. Well, they've been duped by the media and they've been duped by Kratz and they don't like it. And they need to go and take a long, good, hard look at these documents for Stephen and for Brendan, because they are telling.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, exactly. All right. Well, that was really good. Thanks, Alice, for joining us. I love having you on here.
Not a problem.
And thanks.
Thank you guys. I'm always so happy to see Alice join us and you too, Linda. And we're gonna next Sunday or next Saturday. Next Saturday, we should be back on Saturdays, and we will continue with the post-conviction trial transcripts now that we went over that one, unless we change to maybe we'll find us. Yeah, maybe we'll, I mean, we will continue with the post-conviction transcripts, but I'm also curious to see how Barb's interview went, so I might hunt that one down, and then maybe we might read from that one, because I'd like to see what they told her, you know. Before we continue with the Kuchowski. So I mean, we're on a track of figuring all this out, right?
It's just a breakdown of the disaster that they caused, you know. It's the shit rolled down the hill, and who threw the first pebble, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you remember, Linda, when we were doing Stephen's case over in foul play, when we were doing the transcripts and everything like that, I mean, we were all saying, how did Dean and Jerry know do this? How did Dean and Jerry know do that? You know what I mean? Why did they know do that? But it wasn't until we were actually doing those transcripts, remember, that we actually realised just how much they had a fight on their hands just to get some of the things through. And they did do their best. And that's why I've got a lot more respect for them now than I ever did with watching the documentary and everything like that, because they tried, you know.
They were stopped at every corner, stopped at every hill, everything. And anything they got a little bit of edgeway, they were stopped.
Yeah, and the fact that Jerry actually even tried to help Brendan out as well by pulling his lawyer aside and saying, look, the last lawyer that Wayne had was rubbish and didn't do this and didn't do that. You need to do that because he's entitled to it. And he's still never done it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so we're gonna take like a little break, and then we're all gonna convene.
Come back for Dassey Birdman.
Yeah.
No, Pete Birdman Dassey.
Pete Birdman Dassey. We might be a little 15 minutes late on that one, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see
channel.
you guys pretty soon.
Channel. Thanks, guys.
But thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.